A longtime friend asked me to talk about job creation and the utter crap politicians sell when they claim credit for creating jobs. So here we are. First, you need to know how the numbers work in DC. Every economic report you see, every jobs figure that moves markets, every stat politicians wave around, none of it is immune to manipulation. Job creation, it's a political goldmine. Politicians, pundits, and CEOs all want to own this gold mine because it taps into what most of us care about: feeding our families, paying the rent, keeping the lights on. So look at 2025. Job growth in December was modest. Last year's job gains were the smallest since 2020. Still, the economy grew at about 4.3% in 2025. CPI inflation data sat around 4.1%.
Under my leadership, economic growth is exploding to numbers unheard of. They've never had them before in recent times, and we're just getting started.
Now that sounds healthy on the surface, but is this prosperity or just sleight of hand? On January 5th, the Department of Energy announced $2.7 billion in contracts to revive domestic uranium production.
He said anus.
This isn't about weapons, this is about power. The U.S. has 54 nuclear power plants spread over 30 states, supplying roughly 19% of America's electricity. Now, with AI and data centers eating up more juice, the demand for nuclear power is going to spike. The U.S. uses about 50 million pounds of uranium a year and imports about 90% of it, largely from Russia. So don't tell anybody we're getting uranium from Russia. That might change the perspective on Russian sanctions. So while politicians debate jobs, the smart money folks are moving into uranium. DOE contracts make it policy. National security demands it. And would you look at that? Another investment that creates jobs. Now let's look at defense. William LaPlante, the former weapons buyer for the Pentagon, he talks about scaling talent pipelines for advanced manufacturing careers. Now that sounds great. I mean, who wouldn't want to back jobs for Americans? This is also in the playbook that the military-industrial complex uses to funnel public money into private contractors. Now, Lockheed Martin, they tout that the F-35 delivers tens of thousands of high-paying jobs. The 2023 defense bill shuffled roughly $452 billion towards military contractors. Lawmakers praised it for job creation, and contractors, they cashed the checks. How about manufacturing? Well, the headlines get rolled out the same way. The John Deere factory ribbon cuttings become political victory laps.
A very special deal because John Deere is doing $70 million in factory in North Carolina. It's brand new, the best in the world.
Politicians like to frame themselves as turnaround CEOs, but how many of those hires are permanent private sector jobs versus temporary boosts or government-funded positions? Speaking of government hires, during the Biden years, about 1.6 million federal jobs were added, many in health and human services. Hiring federal employees is an easy statistical fix if you want employment numbers to look better. It's politics, not productivity. No one's voting against adding funds for health. It's safe political theater. So what's the takeaway? Economic statistics are malleable. Don't take every jobs headline at face value. Ask yourself, are these real private sector jobs creating value long term, or politics shifting numbers to look good?
And I think it's going to pay off very, very big. And if it doesn't, I have nothing to do with it. But if it does, I'm going to take full credit.
Now, to make this video personal and hopefully it hits home for you, your retirement, your job prospects, your family's future, it all depends on economic realities that politicians can bend. A very good friend of mine and a trusted advisor, Mr. Moots, he put money into a perspective I was able to actually understand. He asked me if I was to put a single dollar bill on a shelf, how much would it be worth in 1 year? Now, not knowing economics, I thought it was a trick question, so I answered $1. Very smugly, I might add. And he said, yes, it's still a $1 bill, but next year its purchasing power will be roughly 88 cents due to inflation. Thus, the value of a single dollar becomes less than a dollar. Basically, don't pile cash under your mattress. You're going to lose money that way. Well, the dollar loses its value, rather. So here's some practical advice. Keep learning. Make yourself irreplaceable. Build contingency plans. What if your employer sells or downsizes? Don't overextend financially. Live below your means when you can. And don't hoard cash. Inflation erodes purchasing power. A dollar next year just won't buy what it does today. Instead, invest in something with an APY. Final thought, watch the headline, sure, but dig a little. Not every job announcement is the economic miracle it's made out to be. Stay prepared, stay marketable, and don't let political theater decide your financial future.
Hey, Greg, I hope you was taking that shit.